Today, I will be attempting to survive 100 days in hardcore Minecraft, all while being hunted by my friend. In these 100 days, I have to defeat the dragon, all while Jared is rushing to kill me. If I die by no matter what cause, Jared wins, and I have to try all the way again from day 1. But if I manage to survive to day 100, I win. Before we get into it, these videos take a ton of time to make. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like. If we hit 1K likes, I'll release another manhunt video with a twist next time. Also, if you aren't subscribed, we're getting really close to 5K subs, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want more content like this. Finally, Jared put a ton of time into playing this with me, so go ahead and check out his YouTube channel and Twitch, which will be both down in the description below. Now that that's over, let's hop into it. Things start as they always do with the first day. Jared ran off in one direction and I ran off in the other. I got the closer tree and managed to craft a pickaxe, grab some stone, and make tools by the time he returned with a wooden axe. The fight went pretty quickly as I had a much better weapon than he did, and it only took 2 hits to drop him. You may notice that there's no chat for his death. This is because we decided to turn off chat so I could have no idea when he entered the nether or the end or when he got diamonds, make it that much more interesting for him hunting after me. Now, after that, I quickly ran away to find sheep and make a bed as soon as possible. The rule was, anytime it was night and I wanted to sleep, Jared had to sleep or log off the server. So I got a bed as quickly as I could to start passing times to get to the 100 day mark as fast as possible. And then next I ran around looking for a cave. Finally, on day 2, I found a surface cave that actually had something in it. It wasn't just an immediate dead end. I managed to barely scrape together enough iron and coal to make a chestplate, helmet, and an axe. After finding barely any ores for so long, we slept again, and on day 3, I popped out of the cave, and there Jared was, waiting to strike. He got the first hit on me, but look at this loser, using a sword in 1.9 PvP? What a loser, dude. So, after a few well-placed hits, he went down. He definitely did take me a little low on health at some points in the fight, but overall, it was pretty cut and dry. After that fight was over, I ran around looking for a fresh cave for a little while, and then after that search, I found one and hopped down. Didn't take too long to collect enough iron to finish up the armor and a shield. On day 7, while mining, I was lucky enough to find a mine shaft. So I collected some string, and now I had a bow. I doubt Jared would have put time into getting string, so I figured this would be a well-needed advantage against him. So, as soon as I got the bow, I exited the cave on day 8, and went looking for chickens and mined some gravel. The next thing I did was scout out the nearby area and look for a place to set down a hidden base to keep my extra items and set up a cow farm in the future. While looking for a place, I find some cows on day 10 and decide to slaughter them to get some extra leather and food. And well, who's that cheeky bugger in full iron running up on me? Traded some hits, and the fight honestly wasn't very intense. He was actually starting to get the better of me for a bit, even though he didn't have a shield and was still using an iron sword. But I was smart and invoked the sleep rule in the middle of the fight as it was starting to turn night. So that gave me some extra time to heal and reset the fight. It was really dumb, but honestly it was pretty funny. On the morning of day 11, I actually began to pick the fight back up and started to win again. Maybe my character just needed a quick nap to get his strength back up. Finally, I killed Jared, finishing off the fight. Crafted a quick chest, tossed the extra gear in there, and I started smelting up the beef I had collected, and then it was time to explore. I actually found a pretty cool village that was between a plains and a mountain on day 12. So I went ahead and dropped some villagers in a hole to protect them, and then ran off to deal with them later. On day 14, I found a suitable place to build a very basic house. I dug into the side of a wall with a small cave, and put a chest down to throw my extra stuff in the chest. Next, I headed out and set up a super basic farm with a few seeds. Next, I wanted to set up a cow farm, but I didn't have any easy way to get the cows in a hole because I didn't have wheat quite yet. Fortunately, a wandering trader spawned in, so I murdered him very promptly and the llamas and took the leads. If that ain't perfect timing, I don't know what is. So I used the leads to bring a few cows into the pit and then waited for the wheat to grow. While I was waiting for that to grow, I decided to go back down in the caves and get some better gear. Now here's my thinking. Jared is 100% gonna go for enchants, obviously, who wouldn't? And he's new to manhunts, this is his first one. So, I'm wondering if he'll keep his enchant table on him when he dies. So, I'm banking on him leaving the enchant table in his inventory, and we'll get it. After a few days of mining, I netted myself a good amount of diamonds, so I made a diamond chestplate, boots, and an axe. An unenchanted diamond axe would do a lot of damage no matter what gear Jared had, so I decided that half diamond should be enough. On day 20, I headed out of the cave and tossed my iron and gold into the chest. Next, on day 21, I realized I was pretty low on coal, and I neglected mining it earlier, so I started mining a bunch of it to stock back up on it. It was time to go to the village and work on them for a bit. I checked to make sure the villagers were still in the first place. Next, I took a lectern and kept replacing it until I got a good book from a librarian. On day 24, I finally got a good book, which was Sharp 3. That'd come insanely in handy down the line for upgrading my axe. However, I didn't have enough emeralds or any fletchers or farmers to get emeralds quite yet, so for now I just hid the villager away and ran back to the base. I'd be back for his trade later. I leave and get back to the base on day 27, after getting slightly lost and bred the cows some more. Then we sleep, and on day 28, head out looking for more chickens, and to see if there's anything interesting I can find. I find some chickens in this cool savanna biome, and what's this chicken with blue pants? Alright, well, he does have enchants, so this, even if he just has a sword, this could still be pretty worrisome. A fire aspect sword too. It definitely made me uncomfortable, but fortunately I was able to use the lake and the water nearby to my advantage and negate his advantage. Fortunately, Jared did drop the enchant table, so I did some basic enchants as quickly as I could with the lapis he dropped. After getting some basic protection and power enchants, it was time to head back to the base and put my stuff away. I thought about making a better enchant table, but I was going to focus on getting really good enchants through the villagers instead, and that would save a lot of time trying to get enchants that actually matter. Now that I had killed Jared with the enchant table, I realized he probably hadn't thought to have set up his own base and keep extra gear. So I'm guessing I have about 20 days apiece before he comes back at me again. I decided to go look for extra sugarcane and make plenty of books. So for the next 2 days, I ran around looking for the sugarcane. After finding about a stack, it was time to go underground and finish off my diamond set. The next 6 days, I mined and mined until I finally finished off my full diamond. On day 39, I ran back up to the surface with my full armor set and proceeded to immediately get lost trying to find my base. I really need to start marking my coordinates. Unfortunately, I don't have a recording of me getting lost, but I mean, it's just me running around in the woods for 3 days, so trust me, you're not missing much. This is the start of the recording on this recording session, so I just completely forgot to click the start recording button, to be honest. Until about day 43! And all that really happened during that time was getting back to my base, enchanted some sharp books, put sharp 3 on my axe, and I also got prot 1 on my helmet. I got an extra prot 1 book, but I didn't quite have the level, so I just kept it on me until I did. On day 44, I head back to the village, and through day 50, I did some trading. I wanted to get a bunch of ender pearls, so I cut down a ton of trees, and then traded all of the wood in the form of sticks to fletchers. After a few days, I finally had enough emeralds to get 4 pearls. After this, I got pretty bored of trading, so I decided to take a break and go to the nether, while I was still convinced Jared wasn't caught up quite yet. On day 51, I returned back to my base and got ready to head to the nether. I ran around for a little while, and on day 52, I finally found a place in the desert to make a portal. I hopped into the portal and immediately spawned in a nether fortress, which would save me so much time looking for one. I went to the nearest blaze spawner and started farming blaze rods. I got enough for some potions and the eyes of ender. I needed to briefly go grab more food as I was almost out, so I headed out to kill some cows and get some extra beef on day 55. On day 56, I returned back to the nether and continued to look through the fortress. I didn't really find much else, but it was a very large fortress, so I just got lost in it almost. Finally, on day 58, it was time to head back to my base, and as I stepped through the portal, I realized I had come through a different portal and heard a bow shot near me. Jared was here. He had made a new portal, and I suppose broke my old one to force me to go through the portal he was camping. Pretty smart, if I do say so myself.
You were deeper than I met anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made yours. Didn't know what my heart be needing. Skipping out, no, I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do,
On day 60, I went back to the village and it was time to start trading for books this time. I did what I could to rig the villagers to give me good book. I got a protection 3 villager, so I got grinding to the emeralds to get a bunch of prot 3 books to make my armor really good. Fortunately, I'll doubt I'll have to worry about Jared attacking me until I go for the Ender Dragon, as he has to get a lot of gear again. I got enough emeralds to get the Sharp 3 book so I can make Sharp 4 from the villager I had early on. But when I went to trade with him, the trade was gone. I don't know if this was from restarting the server or some other issue, but either way, I'd need to get a new Sharpness villager, so I just wasted a bunch of time earlier on. Now it's time to reset him some more. On day 65, I actually got another Sharp 3, but I killed the looting villager that I had because I didn't want him anymore, and little did I know that the Sharp 3 villager would raise his prices because of this, and now it was insanely expensive. On day 67, I finally got enough emeralds for Sharp 4, and now it's time to grind a ton of them to get the pearls. Finally, day 73, I had the pearls I needed for the end frame. Now it's time to get my gear as good as possible. After many days of preparation, on day 84, I finally had full protection 4 on all of my armor pieces, an infinity power 4 bow, and a sharpness 4 diamond axe. Day 86, I started brewing poison and speed potions for the final fight, and after that, I began running around looking for the end portal. It took absolutely forever, but I found the stronghold on day 90. On 92, I went through the portal and fought the Ender Dragon after exploring the stronghold. Taking the crystals went pretty quickly, and then it was time to focus the dragon. I began slapping it over and over in the neck as it swooped down towards the middle. And as I finished hitting the dragon and defeated it, I hear arrows land near me. It's time for the final fight. Day 93. I think the poison potions would give me an edge, but I also didn't think to make fire resistance, so that was a massive oversight. And there he goes. With the final hit, Jared falls on day 94. It was over. There's no way he's making it back in time for another fight before the 100-day mark with enough gear to actually drop me. So, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like down below. It helps a ton out, and remember that if we hit 1K likes, I'll start working on a new Manhunt video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video.